where we are not usually allowed. This is the student space. This is where they come to relax, to talk, to chat, to socialise, to interact. And to play pool. Nothing changes though. I mean, I still can't get anyone to challenge me to play pool. There's no one here. So instead, why don't I invite you for a coffee? Why don't we leave the young to it and you come through? And what we don't have a canteen, but we do have a coffee shop that's down here. What can I get for? Oh, sorry. No, in fact, the coffee shop now is in fact closed. But what it does do is it does a very good coffee. It does a very good cup of tea. It does very good sandwiches. Coco has different options, different food options that you can be looking at every day, whether it's going to be breakfast, whether it's going to be lunch. She has daily specials. We have vending machines. But what you'll find is that South Kensington and Gloucester Road have very much a cafe culture to it, and it is a defining feature of the college as well, as the students like to go out and grab a coffee in the local area, maybe do their work there. And of course we do have other buildings that I cannot show you today that equally have coffee-based facilities. So some students bring in lunch, some students have lunch here, some students eat lunch out. The choice is yours. Now hopefully you never get called to the principal's office, and the only time you're ever there really is when you actually have one of your initial interviews for the college. But in 90 ground floor corridor, it starts with the principal's office and comes past our sports notice board here. And I do want to point this out purely because I can't actually show you our fabulous outdoor facilities at this moment in time, partly because we don't have a blade of grass around us and they're not on our door, and obviously the other part being the state of the world at the moment. We do have an awful lot of extracurricular activities that you can do. We have the competitive team-based sports and we have the more individual-based sports as well. So you might want to play rugby, you might want to play football, you might want to actually play golf or squash or whatever that might be, but we have facility to be able to do that. We generally use South West London for what it is there for, which is for the wide open spaces and numerous facilities that are available. The only other thing that I'd like to point out, and equally I cannot show you today, is we do have a facility share with Imperial College University at the top of the road, and there we have use of their gym. Their state-of-the-art gym, their health suite, their swimming pool, their climbing wall, their squash courts, etc. And that is all for free for students to use as well, and should be used by students too, as it gives them a sense of downtime outside of their studies, and indeed makes for a more constructive use of the day. And we're back at the very beginning. We're back to where you first started your experience at MPW. I hope I've given you some sense of it. I hope it has not been too strange having a very ghost-like feel to MPW behind the magic. But one thing I do want to show you, just with a thought before we leave, is this bookshelf here, because it rather encapsulates the other things that we do here. We write these guides, for example, and these are actually incredibly useful, not only for our students, but for students outside the college too. They're instructional guides on various different courses, and whether that might be medicine, or Oxbridge, or law, or art schools, or what have you, they're all written by our Director of Studies here, by our pastoral team, and each and every person will have a specialism of their own. They're designed as instructional guides, not only about what sort of things you would be thinking about in this profession, but also how you go about getting into it. So they're a very good place to start. When you come for an interview at MPW, we will then also leave you with our course outlines. We'll give you a copy of our Imprint magazine here. Imprint is the college newsletter that you can have a little look through. The enrichment programme, just to back up what we were saying before in terms of all the different sporting and non-sporting activities you can do, because we didn't even talk about debating or Duke of Edinburgh or Model United Nations or all the other many things you can do. And on that list, we're currently numbering about 39 different options. My one advice to anyone coming here is your experience will be defined by what you make of it. We will give you the basics, we will give you the academics, we will give you the education that you are looking for. But over and above that, it's for us to lay out opportunities in front of you, to guide you towards them, and then allow you to make choices, adult choices for yourself, just with a huge safety net underneath, and that is often your personal tutor. So, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you now can go out and enjoy some sun, whether that's going to be sticking your head out the window or going out into your own backyard. And at some point, when these doors throw themselves open again, I hope that we can actually welcome you to MPW, get you to come on in, see the place for itself, and actually meet someone other than just myself.